Right. This scripture, guys, is what we use when we first meet somebody. It could be literally at the first meeting, depending on the scenario. If you're out at lunch or something. I mean, like first meeting, like you're just first meeting them, or you're having your first conversation. So if you're, let's say you met them at a grocery store, okay? And there's another whole nother video just on how you build your database, which covers more of that. But let's say you're at the grocery store, it's a long line, and the guy behind you says something like, gee, every time I come here, lines like this, and you use the opportunity to strike up a conversation, right? In every conversation, one comment is, well, what do you do, right? And whenever they say, well, I'm an engineer, I'm a dentist, I'm a teacher, say, no kidding. I just helped a dentist buy a duplex. Have you ever thought about buying a duplex yourself or flipping a home? Okay, it's that easy. Well, in any case, that conversation may turn into you using these questions right here. Have you ever considered flipping or buying a home, right? You ever considered alternatives like Airbnb or residential assisted living? You don't have to ask all these questions, but definitely the first one, maybe the second one if they give you some objection on the first one, okay? Like it's too expensive here. So, oh, you ever thought about Airbnb or residential assisted living, okay? Then and ask them, well, have you done it before? How many do you have, right? And ask them, what's holding you back? And again, you can ask one or two or three of these other ones. Which is time your biggest challenge? Is money your biggest challenge? Is knowledge your biggest challenge? What's your biggest fear? Okay. And by the way, have you ever worked with a certified residential investor agent? Okay. And then ask this: if you knew you wouldn't fail, would you move forward with your own investing? See, it usually comes down to time, money, and or knowledge. The success comes from a combination of education plus information plus action. That's the formula for success. I'm a certified residential investor agent. I'm trained to guide you with a plan to succeed in real estate investing. It is clear and simple. And here's the steps that demonstrate clear and simple. 10 steps. Determine what you have to work with and what you need. All right. Next step is explore the different purchasing strategies. Then explore the different investment strategies. Then determine, like flipping versus renting versus wholesaling, whatever. Then I determine the right area for you. Then we determine the right properties for you. Then we determine the right sellers for you. Okay. And then we market to them for you. Okay. We perform due diligence with you. All right. So this for you, with you, all these are language patterns. Okay. Then I connect you and the seller. And then finally, number 10, you close on a property and start making money. And they'll say something like, well, where do we start? What do we do? We say, it's simple 3-step process. Number 1, interview and qualify. That's you and I. Number 2 is we come to an agreement. Number 3 is we take action. That's it. 3 steps. If they are not ready, okay, if they're not ready to commit, ask this question. If you and I were having this conversation 1 year from now, what would have to have occurred in the year for you to feel like it was successful? All right. And let them think about that. Let them talk, by the way. Okay. Sometimes they'll just take over the conversation from there. And when they're finally done, you ask this, say, when would you like to start working on it? Okay. Great. Let's set a meeting to accomplish the first step above. We'll determine the first 3 steps. We'll determine what you have to work with and what you need. All right, their resources, determine the right strategies for them, determine the right investment purchasing strategies and the right investor strategies. By the way, ask this question too. Always never leave the scene without a call to action. Here it is. What is the next best day and time for you? Okay, and I'll follow up with the interviewing and screening process, which is what I'll give you in another video. Now, back to this. Let's say you're in a grocery store line and things are happening kind of quickly. Just say, you know what, when you get to the point here, hey, I just helped a dentist buy a duplex, or I just helped an engineer flip a home. I think there's some information you should probably see if you being an engineer too. Would it be okay if I sent this to you? Can I get what's your name, what's your email address? Okay. Just a real quick, you can tell them there's a book your mentor wrote, whatever. The point is you want to get contact information. Okay. And then you go into this part down here. All right, you ask all these questions on the meeting or on the phone call. Again, the difference is this. Sometimes you get to go through this on the very first conversation. Sometimes you just simply get name and figure out their whatever it is they do, make that initial contact, you know, give them something, promise them something of value, right? Called reciprocation. And then you can have the conversation that goes through all this. Okay. In any case, stay tuned for the next video, and we'll talk about interviewing and screening. See you there.